tomorrow with the same exercise, including our, as usual, lesson from 7 to 8. Okay, so today we are completing our manufacturing account topic by doing the last exercise, which is we started on Monday lesson. Did you try to complete the exercise? Did you try to attempt the question completely? Hello? Anyone can answer? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, there's no problem. If you didn't try, we are going to do it today. So see each and every step and see that how we can do. Okay. Let me share the question. Student want to add me. Let me just add the member. Give me a second. Somebody wants me to add. She only okay. All right. Can you see the question, please? And I believe that all the students who are attending, they also have the copy of question. I will upload this question. Sorry, I forgot to upload on the Teams. I'll do it at the end of the class. So this is the question we are doing in Monday lesson. These are the expenditures are given there, and on the basis of it, we have to prepare the manufacturing account and income statement. I was trying to make the statement of financial position, but there is no much information, so we not really necessary to prepare the statement of financial position for this question. But the format of statement of financial position is same as we always prepare with non-current asset, current asset, liabilities, capital, and uh, finance by adding the net profit and subtracting the drawings. Okay. So we already start the manufacturing account up to here. Can you see the solution on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anyone who did not attend the class on Monday?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
there anyone? In our today class, is there anyone who didn't attend the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ako
So, huh?
Ito na.
No, those who are attending today, I'm asking, is there anyone who was not there on Monday lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have the copy of question? The
Uy,
copy of,
Ay,
I think someone share on the WhatsApp group. If not, let me also share so that you can have the copy of question.
Gimana Puan?
Sorry?
Ya.
Here is the question on the group as well. So those who doesn't have the question, I just share on the WhatsApp group. You can access the question from there. Okay, so our question is saying that we have to prepare the manufacturing account for GMAT, and we have given the information of raw material, indirect material, productive wages, electricity. So according to the format, we always start with the inventory at the beginning of year. How much opening inventory as a raw material, because raw material is the one which is consumed during the manufacturing unit process. Finished good is already manufactured, so we do not consider in the manufacturing account. Please always remember that. The quantity of finished good as a opening and closing does not come in the manufacturing account, is only recorded in the income statement and the statement of financial position under current assets, the closing stock of finished good. And then we add the purchase of raw material. The purchase of raw material was done for 237,650. Then we subtract the closing inventory of raw material at the end of the year, which was 24,000. After subtracting our cost of material consumed as a raw material is for 227,200. Then we add if the manufacturing unit have any other direct cost. So you have to check in the question what other direct costs are given in the question as a direct material, direct payment on the material, labor, and other expenses. So in this question, the class activity we were doing, we also added direct labor and the expenses on royalties, because royalties are always paid on the business for various material they are using. So we record it here. Then we add the total of all the direct expenses is become 301,480. Then
Ma'am.
credit, ma'am.
You didn't add a
Uh,
active
yeah.
wage,
I didn't add
accruals for productive wages.
accrual. No, that one will come under manufacturing overhead cost. We are still on the prime cost.
But ma'am, on the lesson, the day of the lesson on Monday, we added it to productive wages.
Accrual wages.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with her. With that.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm going there. We haven't yet done that part. Can you see on the screen the solution? Are you able to see the solution on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So then After prime cost, then we calculate manufacturing overhead cost. We start by indirect material. You are saying about this productive wages, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you see we added here the productive wages, which is given in the trial balance, is 63,240. Then we add the accrual wages, 1,342. So the total wages is 64,572.
Ma'am, isn't a productive wage a direct labor cost?
Productive wages,
Yes.
direct labor cost. It may be or maybe not, but it is always related with the production, right? Yeah, we can also add to the prime cost because it's not clear it is direct or indirect. Sometimes it is specified. So why I took it under manufacturing overhead cost, because uh, there is a direct labor cost also given separately. Oh, okay.
It wasn't, ma'am.
Wait a minute. What is the...
Hello, ma'am. I think it's supposed to be related with prime cost. Maybe they were supposed to write production wages, not productive wages.
No, wait a minute. Where did I get this
You
direct
duplicated.
labor? 1 minute, direct labor. That word. Okay, right. I think I added twice here. Yeah, it's not a direct labor. It's productive. It's productive wages. No, it doesn't matter. Either you call production wages or productive wages. It doesn't matter. It has to be added here. Okay, 63 230 plus 342. Okay, so this one will be 64,572, right? And then our...
Yes.
Yeah, and this one will not come here, and this one also not come here. All right, so the total will be of prime cost will change. The total of the prime cost is 22 plus 64 572 is 302 772. That will be the prime cost, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, then that is our prime cost. Then manufacturing overhead. We add indirect material. Then electricity. Which is also have the accrual cost of electricity. So we add yeah, in the class we did make a mistake. We first calculate the 60% and then add the accrual. Actually, the main cost and any accrual and payment has to be adjusted first before we apportion between the factory and the office expenditure. So we have to first add and then calculate the portion, how much portion will go for the manufacturing cost and how much will go for non-manufacturing cost. So we added, when you add the electricity bill, the total will be 8,045. Then we calculate the 60% of 8,045, which is give you 4,827. So the electricity bill for the factory, for the manufacturing unit is 4,827. Okay. The salary of workers is also a portion between the factory and the office workers in the ratio of 60 and 40. So the total salary of the workers is 21,400. You can say like this, 21,400, and the 60% of it will go to the factory overhead cost, which is makes 12,840. Then insurance cost in the trial balance given is 1,660. But there is also additional information about insurance. The insurance prepaid at the end of the year is 160. So as you know that all the prepayments, because this is not the expenditure for current year, you have to subtract. So from 1,660, we subtract 160, and then we apportion between factory and office at the ratio of 66.666 and 33.33. So I just round up the figure 66.666 or 67. It will give you around 999.9 something. So you can round up the figure to make it 1,000. Okay, that's how I make it 1,000, a round figure. And then the depreciation on machinery. The total depreciation on machinery cost was given 5,650. So 5,650 has been apportioned in a ratio of 80 and 20% to the administrative activities at office. So the 80% of 5,650, which is give you 4,520. So that's how we determine the total indirect manufacturing cost or manufacturing overhead cost. Now we have to find out their total. The total will be it will be 25,348. Do you also get the same amount?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
don't we add printing and stationery?
Yes.
No, printing and stationery is not the manufacturing activity. Normally the printing and the stationery used for office work, so it will go under administrative cost. So our total production cost will be 328 and 120. The total production cost 328,120. Okay. Once we get the production cost, then we include the work in progress. The work in progress in the question cost at the beginning of the year as an opening work in progress was given 9,750. So we will add 9,750. You will get the total will be 337,870 when you add. Then we subtract, there is also some stock was left at the end of the financial year as a work in progress or semi-finished good, which is with the cost of 11,250. When you subtract, the cost of finished good will be 326,620. Okay. Then the question says, the finished goods manufactured during the period are transferred from the factory at the manufacturing price or cost plus 10%. Plus 10% means plus 10% with the profit. So you have to calculate the 10% of the production cost of finished good. So the production cost of finished good is 326,620. Then 10% of it is 32,662. So once you add the profit, we add the profit to determine the transfer price. So the transfer price will be 359,282. That is the transfer value of the goods which is finished during this financial year. So up to here, is it clear to everyone? Or any part which is you do not understand?
Can you please go over the manufactured profit again?
Okay, do you have the question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go to the first additional information. The first additional information says finished goods manufactured during the period. Period means in this accounting year, which is ending on December 2022. So we are talking about one financial year. During this period are transferred from factory at a manufacturing price of cost plus 10%. Here plus 10% means they are adding 10% as a manufacturing profit. So the manufacturing profit is 10% of the total production cost. And our total production cost was 326,620. So we added 10% as a expected profit on the manufactured goods. When you add the amount of profit, this is the transfer value of goods produced. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So is there anything we missed in the manufacturing account?
Ma'am.
Okay. So what the other document we need to prepare?
Income statement.
Income statement. Yeah, we are done with the manufacturing account. Now we are going to prepare the income statement. Can you please draw the table quickly for the income statement so that we can make entries? Do the calculation at the same time so that you will be clear with every point. So in income statement, we start with which figure? We start with sales. Are we given sales in the question?
Yes.
Okay. So we will write the first entry, sales revenue. Okay. We start with sales revenue. How much sales revenue is given there? So the income statement.
398,120.
Yeah, we will draw like this. The income statement for the year ended 31st December 2022. Our sales revenue is 398,120. Then from that, we subtract the cost of goods sold. We already done this part before. Can you please try to calculate the cost of goods sold? Just take a 2 minute or 3 minute. Just to ensure that yes, you will able to calculate that. So when we are calculating the cost of goods sold, we always start with the figure of opening inventory of finished goods. So the value of opening inventory of finished good in the question is given 14,080 pula. We will write 14,080 pula. Then we add the cost of production of finished good. How much cost of production of finished good? 326 620. 326 320. I will write here. So the sum of it will be because upside I made a one mistake. You see, if you made a one mistake in one entry, your all figures will be wrong. So it's 340,700. From that, we subtract the closing inventory of finished good, which is given in the question. So we will left with 320 and 900. Are we together? Are we together? Are you also doing the calculation? Okay, so our gross profit will be 27,220. Is there any question? When I consider, because our recommended book is Frankwood, so when I was checking the Frankwood, I have seen that the cost of production of finished good, they have taken the cost price instead of the transfer price. In some of the other textbook or online material, they use the transfer price here for the to show as a cost of production. But our Frank would advise to use the cost price. So that's why I use the cost price here. So our gross profit is 77,220. Then to calculate the net profit, we subtract the other expenses, which has been classified as a administrative expenses, selling and distribution, and financial charges. If there are any, all those categories are given there. So administrative expenses as a electricity. What information is given about the electricity in the question? The total electricity charges in the trial balance is 7,455, but there is also accrual cost of electricity given, which is 590. So we add both to determine the 40% ratio as we did for the 60% in the manufacturing account. Same, we have to add both and calculate their 40%. So 3,218 is the out of it total. Electricity will cost will go for administrative activities. The printing and stationery. Normally, most of the printing work, documentation printing done at the administration. That's why printing and stationery will come under administrative expenses. Salaries, 40% of the salaries goes to the office work, office employees. So the total salary in the question is given for 21,400. So 40% of 21,400, which is make 8,560, will be for the administrative expense. You can also do the calculation at the same time just to ensure the accuracy of the figure. Like if we are not making any mistake here. Insurance, the total insurance cost in the trial balance given is 1,660, but among 1,660, 160 amount was paid as a prepaid. So we always subtract the prepaids. That's why we subtract 160 from the total insurance cost. And after subtracting, the 33.333% will goes to the administrative work. So when you calculate, it will give you 499 point some. Then you can round up the figure to make it 500 because your total insurance cost is 1,500. So 1,000 for the factory and 500 for the administration cost. Are we together? That's how it has been adjusted. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then office expense, because obviously office expenses belong to the all administrative work. Thus, the entire amount 1,680 will go to the administrative activity. Then the machinery was also used at the office, and the depreciation on the machinery cost, depreciation cost of machineries has been split between factory and office in the ratio of uh, 80 and 20. So the 20% will come here. Will come here, which is make 1,130. So total depreciation cost is 5,650 and 20% of it 1,130 pula. So these are our administrative cost. You can add them, and so total it will give 16,352. You can check 3218. So the total you will get 16,352. After administrative expense, then we calculate selling and distribution expenses. So if you see the question, what are the selling and distribution expenses? There are two categories of selling and distribution expenses: postage and telephones. They use the telephone to communicate to the external people and to posting charges. So 520 will be selling and distribution. But sometimes if you are not sure and you mention the postage and telephone is also related to the administrative and you are counted there, it's not a problem, because exactly is not clear. Are they using the telephone for distribution purpose or for administration? So this kind of expenditure can be fall for administrative activity or as well as for selling and distribution. Advertising obviously it goes with the selling of goods. So advertising cost will come under selling and distribution. Then increase in provision of unrealized profit. Yeah, because here there is a one figure given in the question. Provision for unrealized profits as at 1st January 2022 is 1,280, and then you also need to calculate how much there is changes comes, either increase or decrease in unrealized profit as at on 31st December 2020. Do you know how to calculate the unrealized profit?
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, normally if you are not given that information in the question, the last sentence after sales, provision for unrealized profit as at 1st January 2022, 1,280. If that information is not given, in that situation, Like they said, the finished good manufactured during the year transferred from factory with the cost plus 10%. It means that they have a 10% profit margin policy at the business. So you have given the information of opening inventory of finished good, right? Have you given the information of opening finished good, opening inventory of finished good?
Yes.
You also given
Yes.
the stock at the end of the year as a raw material, as a work in progress, and as well as finished goods. Opening and closing stock of finished good you have given in the question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So to calculate the difference, to find out if it is increase or decrease, in the value of finished good, you can add 10%. You calculate the 10% of it and add in the cost of finished good. This one I'm explaining if that information is not given in the question, like you have given the unrealized profit on 1st of January 1280. If this one is given, then there is another way to calculate. But if this information is not given, when in that situation, you have to calculate the 10% of opening inventory of finished good and add to the cost. And same thing, you also need to calculate the 10% of the closing inventory of finished good. And then you subtract that 10%, closing 10% to the opening 10%. If it is increase, it means there is a change in unrealized profit. But if it is decrease, you do not show as expense. But now in this question, you have given the unrealized profit on at the beginning of year 1280, and you also given the closing inventory of finished good with the market value 19,800. 19,800. So by adding the profit, this 19,800 is the adding of profit. So if you want to find out how much the value of finished good at the end of the year before adding the 10% of profit, then you have to calculate like this: 19,800. This is out of 100 because when you add 10%, if the suppose the cost is 100 and you add 10% profit, so the total market value is become 110. Are we together? Suppose the value of finished good is 100 and you are adding 10% profit. So after adding profit, you will get the market value. So 100 is the cost, for example, and the 10% means 10 out of 100. 10% is profit. So the total selling price or market value is become 110. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this value is equal to the 110 after adding the 10% of profit. We don't know what is that 10%. So 19,800 you divided by 110 because this is the 110 value. So what is the 100? And then 19,800 divided by 110 times 100. When you calculate, the cost of finished good will be 18,000. 18,000. So it means that the profit percentage is, how do you calculate? How we get 18,000? Yeah, that's formula you put 19,800 is as a 110. So how much is 100%? Cost price 18,000. So how much the profit was added in 18,000? If we add 1,800, then it will become 19,800. Do you get my point? Do you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
No, ma'am. Please repeat.
Okay. What I'm saying, do you have the question with you? Do you have the question with you?
Yes.
Okay. On the second page, the first figure, which is written finished goods, then in a bracket is written market value. Market value means cost plus profit. Cost plus profit. Are we together? So the market value of the finished good was given 19,800. So if the 10% means, when you say 10% means 10 out of 100. So when the cost is 100 and 10% is the profit, the total market value, this 110 is the market value, okay? If the cost price is 100. So if the cost price is, if the market value is 19,800 and you wanted to calculate the cost price, what you need to do, you just say the market value over 110, because this is equal to 110, then times 100 if you want to calculate what is this 100 here. Okay, so when you calculate, the cost price of the finished good is 18,000. So 18,000 is the cost price, and the remaining means 19,800 minus 18,000, 1,800. This is the profit. This is the profit added to the finished good, which is left at the end of the year. So 1,800 is the unrealized profit on. This profit is not earned because the goods are still with us, but we added 10% profit percentage. That's how, after adding this 10% profit, the total cost of finished good is become 19,800. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
cost is 18,000, right? Then we add 10% profit. So 10% of 18,000 is 1,800, right? So when you add cost plus 10% profit is become 19,800. That's how the 19,800 comes. But from 19,800, if you want to know what is the cost, then you have to use this formula to calculate. Then from 19,800, you subtract the 18,000. It means this 1,800, the amount you calculated, this is a amount of profit, unrealized profit. Why we are calling unrealized profit? Because this profit is not yet earned. The goods are not sold and it is not yet earned. So the end of year, the profit is 1800, and at the beginning of the year, the unrealized profit is, where is the question? 1280. The provision of unrealized profit on 1st January 22, 1280. So how much difference? 1800 and 1280. How much it is increase?
520.
520. Yeah, that's how we calculated 520 here. The change is provision of unrealized profit is 520. Okay, so then we add all these expenses and subtract from the gross profit to determine the net profit. If you see the format is mentioned there, the changes in provision of unrealized profit, we show it here. So that's how you can add and subtract from gross profit. And when you get the gross profit, then you also add the profit of manufacturing profit to calculate the total profit company made. The manufacturing profit you will get from here, this amount. The manufacturing profit 10% of the production cost. When you calculated this amount in the net profit, you also add, because this amount was not yet added, just to find out the total profit realized at the end of the year. So that's how we prepare the income statement. I hope it is clear to everyone. Revise this question. If you do not understand, I will explain again the last part, okay? So in tomorrow class, our tomorrow class is also online. Please inform the other student, those you know them. Our class will be 7 to 8 with the new topic, incomplete records. And after that, I will repeat this exercise for the rest of student.
Madam,
Yes, please.
I want to know if we are not given the manufacturing profit, but we have to calculate it. How do we do it?
This manufacturing profit, we calculated actually. In this question also we calculated. It wasn't given in the question. They said that all the goods has been manufactured at the factory. It transferred with the cost plus 10%. 10% means plus 10% profit. So this is our total cost. We calculated, and then we calculated 10% of the cost. This is your total cost of production. Now you calculate 10% of it, which is make 32,662. When you add the added value, this is called the transfer value of the production cost. So here also we calculated. They just give you what is the profit margin ratio, the percentage they are using for the business. That information will be given in the question. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so revise the other questions this. If you have any doubt on any question, any part, then you can bring that issues to my office. We will discuss together if you still have any doubt. Okay, so now we are ending our lesson here today. If anybody asks there is class at 2, say no, there is no class at 2 because I have an appointment outside. And please do attend the class tomorrow.